Now, this week, we've heard reports that Tiger Woods will return to professional golf next week. Woods recently spent weeks, we've heard, in rehab for sex addiction after news broke of his numerous affairs. The world's #1 golfer certainly isn't the first celebrity to check into rehab, if he actually did, for sex addiction. He joins a long list of famous people who either have been treated as or admitted to being sex addicts. So what is sex addiction? Is it a real problem, just an excuse for bad behavior? And if it is real, can it be treated? Janie Lacey, a counselor at Total Life Counseling Center in Winter Park, joins us this morning from our newsroom. Good morning.
Good morning, Heidi.
Okay, let's tackle this first off. Is it real or is it just an excuse to be a loser?
Heidi, sex addiction is real, and it's very controversial in our field, but it is real, and there is a difference from people. Not everyone that cheats, Heidi, has sex addiction, but people that have sex addiction are prone to cheating.
So how do you define then a sex addict as opposed to someone who's just cheating?
Well, someone that's a sex addict, they engage in any sexual-related behavior in spite of the negative consequences, and it becomes compulsive. It becomes compulsive, and it usually gets, regardless of their negative behavior, they're still trying to maximize their opportunities. So that would be the definition in its simplest term.
So would it then be sort of like a drug addict going after a high, like you have everything else in the world, it's the only thing I can do to be risky?
Well, one way that we can compare is we can look at alcohol, right? There's alcohol abuse and there's alcohol dependence. With alcohol abuse, a person's able to stop, but alcohol dependence, they're now dependent on the drug, so to speak, to fulfill whatever void they're trying to fill. So with the sex addict, it's more like the dependence. Despite of the negative consequences, they're still trying to self-medicate. They're trying to fill some type of void. Where if there's people that are just disrespectful and just going to do what they want and have selfish behavior, which would be the abuse part, they can stop the behavior.
Okay, so speaking about alcoholism, let's say you go to Alcoholics Anonymous. After you get done with that treatment program, that's it. You're dry for the rest of your life, so you don't have a drink. So what happens if you go to some sex addict program? Are you done for life?
If you go to a sex addict recovery program, you're not done at all. That's probably just the first stepping stone. It takes about 2 to 5 years for a sex addict to work a recovery plan. A recovery plan doesn't necessarily mean inpatient, but it also means that you are constantly have accountability system in place. You have boundaries. You know what your triggers are. Most people are in recovery for life.
Okay, so many questions, so little time. If you have a question for Janie Lacey, she's sticking around to blog with you. Right now, she is headed over to our web center. You can ask her questions. Go to myfoxorlando.com. You're going to see a link there on the front of our homepage. I'll be chatting with her again during Good Day coming up in just a bit. Janie, thank you so much.